Okay, the Sine Ratio rule, or the SAS rule, is used to calculate the area of a triangle when you have two known side lengths and the angle given between those two side lengths. Hence the reason SAS, so side, angle, side. Okay, and that angle, the A, is in the middle because the angle must be in the middle of the two sides that you're given. You can use this rule for non-right angled triangles. So the sine ratio rule is area equals half AB times sine of C. So you will also see it written as area equals A times B times the sine of C over 2. Okay, you should definitely write those formulas down. We'll be using them a lot. Okay, so for our first example, it's just going to be a Caf example. We're going to find the area of this triangle here. So the first thing we're going to do is write our formula. So area equals, I'm going to use A times B times the sine of C over 2. And then we just sub in what we know. So we don't know the area, but we do know the two sides and angle. So the two sides, if this is our given angle here, then our two sides must come off of C. So AC and BC. So you can see they're darkened here. They are the two sides we must use because the angle is in the middle. It's really important. So we have 29 by 20 by the sine of 37.5 degrees. And all of that over 2. So you can actually put that into your calculator. Do make sure some of the calculators require you to put a bracket after you've typed in, after pressing sine, 37.5. Sometimes you are required to put a bracket before you press equals. And so we end up with 176.54 centimetres squared. And that's just been rounded to 2 decimal places. So what's important to note here is this line here is our K1, this line here is our K2 criteria, and this last one here is our K3 and C1 criteria. So we've rounded as well. Okay, so in order to find the area here, we've got two different triangles. So we have one here and we have one here. Now both of them give us an angle with two sides, and then we've got this side has an angle and two sides. So we can actually use the SAS rule, the sine ratio rule. But we are going to have to set this out a little bit. So if we start with the first area, if we start with area 1, so we're just going to use half AB sine of C. So we just sub in, so that would be a half times 153 and 117. So you can see I'm actually doing this side here, 153 and 117. So that means I'm going to be finding the sine of 51 degrees. Now, if I do my calculations first, I can skip straight to an answer, but sometimes it's a bit easier to do it this way, depending on your calculator. So 8,950.5, and then we'll multiply that by the sine of 51. And that will give us 6 9, oh, 5, 5.8, 4, 4, 9, 2, and it keeps going. Actually, no, it doesn't. 928, and that's meters squared. Okay, so next we do our second area. So area of the second triangle there. Again, we write our formula, half AB sine of C, and we sub in what we know. So half 153, but this time it's going to be 85 the other side. They share that common side. And the sine of 32. So if I do the half of 153 times 85, I get 6502.5 times the sine of 32. And that leaves me with 3,445, 80016 meters squared. Now you might be wondering why I haven't rounded these two numbers. Well, that's because I'm going to have a much more accurate overall area if I only round in the last step. So when you are completing a complex question or a multi-stepped question, you should make sure that you only round at the end if possible. It just gives a more accurate answer. So our final step is going to be the total area. And first of all, I write my formula. That's going to equal area 1 plus area 2. So that's going to be difficult to fit in. Let's see if I can move this along. No, it's not going to let me move. Okay, so that's going to be 69.55. Oh, I did that again. So 695.84 and on, plus, and of course this would be all on one line for you, 3445.8 and all of those digits. And if I actually add all of them together properly, I get 10401.64394, which will round to 10401.64 meters squared. So if I had enough room at the bottom there, I would write my concluding sentence there, but at the moment I don't. So therefore, I'll just do it up here. The total area of the sporting ground pen doesn't want to work well. 10401.64 meters squared. Okay, and so what's interesting to note is this one here is our K1 and M1, so it's actually showing the method we're using. We're using the SAS area rule in order to work out areas. So these three give us K1 and M1 in map. These lines here are our K2, so they're our working lines. So K2 here and K2 here. And then even down here, this one's K2. And then our K3 here and here and here. They're where we've actually calculated. And then we've got our rounding, our C1 there, and our M3 up here. And that's actually hitting all of those criteria. Okay, so now we look at another fairly easy map question. And we'll go through and work that one out. So the right angle triangle below represents the area of a section of the playground that is to be turfed. First thing you need to do is calculate the total area that needs to be turfed. That should say area. And B, use an alternate or different method to verify your answer. So to begin with, I look at this and I say, it's a right angle triangle. Easy enough. If I'm just finding the area, then that's just going to be base times height over 2. My base is 17, my height is 13, and so that's going to be 15 metres squared. Easy enough. My alternate method, well, I can actually use the SAS rule. So area is half AB times the sine of C. Now, half of 17 and 13 times the sine of, and what's my angle? Well, it's the sine of 90. Yeah, I know that this here is 90 degrees, and that's in between the two sides. So if I calculate half of 17 times 13, I get a 110.5 times the sine of 90, and that will actually give me 15 square metres if I put that into my calculator. Therefore, the answer confirms that the area is 15 square metres. So I can show that they actually match. So that I am verifying my answer by doing it a different way and showing that it actually matches. Now again, we have our K1, N1 for our two rules here, K1, N1. This is our K2 line, this is our K3. Over here, K2, K2 and K3. And down here we have M3, but this is also, this whole process here is showing M2. You've actually found an alternative method. You've investigated different methods in order to make a decision, and that's what M2 is. Okay, so now you should look at completing the worksheet that is entitled Applying the SAS Area Rule.